everybody. Welcome to Spotlight on Middle Country. My name is Lenore Paprocki, and I am the president of the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce.
And I am Alex Blend from the Miller Business Center at the Middle Country Public Library.
Spotlight on Middle Country has been a podcast series that has been going on for 20 plus episodes at this point. And the reason why we put this together, it's a collaborative between the Chamber and the Miller Business Center, is to help highlight business owners and very interesting people who live in our community and work in our community. And today we have one of those people. Actually, it's a couple. I'd love to welcome right now with us today is Pastor Hank and Allison Kistler from Connect Church in Centereach. Hi guys, how you doing today?
Hi, doing really well.
Welcome. Yes, welcome to Spotlight on Middle Country. It's very good to meet you both.
For sure.
Thank you.
So, Pastor Hank, Allison, can you tell us a little bit about how you ended up right here in Centereach? I know you're relatively new to the area, so can you give us a little background on how you ended up here and how did you pick Centereach as your home?
Yeah, well, it all kind of starts with, I moved up from North Carolina in 1996. I'm a Southern boy originally, and I met this beautiful Long Island girl.
And she is beautiful.
Yes, she is. We met actually in youth group in Stony Brook, our church in Stony Brook at the time. And Allison's real good at telling our story.
Sure.
You want to say a few things?
Yeah, so we met when we were 14. He just moved up from North Carolina, and we literally met the first Sunday in church. And we've sort of just been together ever since. We've done all of life together, all different seasons. We went away to seminary and Bible college together. We got our degrees. We grew up, I grew up in East Islip. He was in Stony Brook, and the church that we were part of was International Baptist Church in Stony Brook. And after college, after we finished college, we came back, and we always knew that we wanted to do something in ministry, especially the church that we grew up in. And when we came back, he became the youth pastor, and we started working with the teenagers for quite a few years. And then eventually he became the assistant and administrative pastor. And the original pastor also had a church in Brooklyn, New York. So he was sort of pastoring both of these churches at the same time. And it eventually just became too much. And so he became eventually the lead pastor of that church. And that was what, maybe 5 years ago?
Almost 6 years ago
Almost
now.
6 years ago. And so we knew at that time that we were eventually going to sell the campus that we were at in Stony Brook. And it was sort of a perfect opportunity for us to rebrand that church, which we wanted to do. We wanted to sort of change the culture of the church. So we changed some methods and things. Our message, still has not changed. We still, our message is Jesus, and we preach the gospel, but he came up with the name Connect Church. And so we sort of around, I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago, we started looking for a new church campus. And we were searching, and there wasn't many church campuses around. We were thinking about maybe even looking into some type of school and sort of renovating it and turning it into a church. And eventually we came across the VFW Hall right here in Centereach on Horseflock Road. And as soon as we walked in those doors, we just knew this was going to be our new home. We really did.
Fantastic.
We loved the community. We loved it. It was a great location. It was, we just knew as soon as we walked in. And so we moved there in June.
Late June.
Yeah.
Of this year, 2020.
Yeah, we moved in late June.
And, so we started a church in Centereach in the perfect time, right in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah. There you go. Well, that's when people need Jesus the most. So
Absolutely.
That's for sure. So that's a terrific story, and I know that Pastor Hank, I knew you were up at the International Baptist Church, so somewhere along the line in our previous life, we met up with each other. I'm sure we saw each other face to face. It was great to really get to know you. This past week, we had a great event over there, live in person with social distancing, and at your church. It is you're absolutely right, Allison. It is the perfect spot for a church. I just would have never thought like that, except now that you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I was looking for a building, this is the perfect building. It is a perfect spot.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. Sure is. Yeah, so we're just thrilled to be where we are. Our church family really has the heart of, we just want to serve our community. That's really what we're there for. We believe that God makes absolutely no mistakes. And the fact that we ended up right there is a great indication for us that God wants us to serve our community.
That's right.
Connect with people in our community. And God gave us that name, Connect Church.
Yeah,
and
great name.
Just connect with you, Lenore, connect with you, Alex. And we're looking forward to the opportunities that God will give us to connect with people in our area.
For sure.
Absolutely. You guys, Allison, when you were explaining how you guys got started, you mentioned you were referring to your location as campus. Is there a reason for that?
So when I said the Stony Brook campus, I believe that's what I was referring to. So we had, at the time when we were part of International Baptist Church, there were two campuses. One was in Brooklyn and one was in Stony Brook. So we always just refer to that as the Stony Brook campus.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and then when he became pastor, we sort of switched gears and we rebranded, and now we are Connect Church. But so that's why I said sort of campus, because we did have two campuses at the time.
Right. Okay, all right. Another thing that we know about you is that you guys are very into giving to the community. That's something that churches are well known for. And could you tell us a little bit about that? I think I believe you guys this past Saturday had a turkey giveaway. How did that go?
Yeah. It went fantastic. We kind of, we gave the idea to our church people and said, hey, we'd love to just serve our community, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. And our church people gave over $1,200 just to provide Thanksgiving meals. So they were frozen meals that we were able to, we purchased 200 of them. Yeah. And I think we gave away about 120, and the rest of them we plan on donating to Lighthouse Mission. Just a great opportunity to serve. And what's interesting is that if you know our building, our campus there, or our new location, the back of it has a very large parking lot, and it kind of attaches to a new field. There's a turf football, soccer field there. And so it gives us a lot of contact with people who are coming to different events there. Well, we were contacted by a lady who said, hey, we have a big field hockey tournament. Is it okay if we use your parking lot Saturday? And at first we kind of thought, well, we have an outreach ourselves that we're going to need space for. Well, it worked out where the field hockey tournament literally packed out this parking lot. I mean, jam-packed. They were so kind. They took a food drive for our church, and we a lot of non-perishable foods that we collected from them. They were so gracious to give that. So we were able to hold our Thanksgiving outreach of giving out Thanksgiving dinners in the front of our building, which was incredible. So it worked out really, really well. We had a lot of people come by, and we're just trying to bless them.
Yes.
So, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Great. So, you guys are, such wonderful people, and just talking to you, I can feel your spirit. One of the questions I have, though, is that because you are a church, a lot of people would be thinking, well, geez, why would a church want to be part of a chamber? And I think that that's really probably true for a lot of people that are questioning that. Surprisingly enough, you're my second church, because Centereach Bible Church is also part of us and a part of the chamber. But I'd like to know what you think and why you felt, being new, it was so important to join the local chamber.
You want to answer that? Okay, so I think it's really important to join the local chamber because it's an opportunity again to connect,
Mm-hmm.
to connect with our area. And just to back up just a little bit, it's very important to get to know the people you're trying to serve. We don't believe as a church we should just sit back and wait for people to come to our church. We say this all the time at Connect Church, and that is the church is not the building, the church is the people.
Mm-hmm.
So we are very passionate about, we're not necessarily looking for people to come to us. We want to get out to where people are. And I believe that's what Jesus did when Jesus lived on earth, and that he went out to people. He was always story after story after story in the Bible is Jesus went out and Jesus found people where they are, met them where they are, and he served them. And that's what we want to do is get out there to where the people are and show the love of Christ and just show that we're for them.
Absolutely. It's a great message, Pastor Hank. I really do appreciate that you share that and share it so openly. And anybody who does know me knows that I live with my faith on my shoulder all the time. I believe, that Jesus Christ is my Savior, and I'm not afraid to say that. So it's always so refreshing to see others who can feel that way, and also to know that there is a connection between your spiritualness and the business community. I don't know how else to say that, because I think that if you have faith in God, you have faith in yourself, and then you have faith in whatever you're doing. And that's part of growing your community, is to let them know, especially in a time like now with pandemic, reaching out to people and giving them that hope, the fact that that there is hope, that you can find the faith and the belief in God and then in yourself, or vice versa. A lot of times people come to God when they're ready, and maybe they're not ready, but maybe they can have faith in themselves, which then strengthens the faith in God. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. And in my experiences, Lenore and Alex, I've seen that people often think that churches are judgmental.
Yes.
And they're hypocrites, or they're very judgmental to the way I want to live my life or whatever. We are passionate about the fact that we don't want to be known for what we're against, right? So we don't want people thinking of Connect Church as, oh, they're against this, they're against this. I don't think that's the purpose of the gospel. I don't think it's the message of the gospel. I think one of our main passions is we don't want to be known for what we're against. We want to be known by what we're for. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say, I wouldn't go to church, or I can't go to church because we have nothing in common with church people. And frankly, I think that couldn't be further from the truth. We want our area to be the very best.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
We live here too.
Uh-huh. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
To be awesome. We want our school districts to be the best school districts. Mm-hmm. We want our local small businesses to be the very best local small businesses. We are for our community. Mm-hmm. And when people think of Connect Church, we intend to change their perspective about God, mm-hmm. about the church. We don't want to be known by what we're against. We want to be known for what we are for. Mm-hmm. And we're for you, and we're for your families. We're for marriages. Mm-hmm. And so that's the message we are really trying to promote. And I've heard it said like this, it takes a long time for vision to stick, right? We have 3 kids. God has blessed us with 3 daughters. So Alex, pray for me. I'm way outnumbered. But we have a 12-year-old Emma. We have a 9-year-old Kayla. We have a 3-year-old Ava, almost 3-year-old Ava. And we're blessed with these little girls, but we don't have to teach our little girls how to be selfish.
Right.
They inherently know that, right? Uh-huh. And there's so many things that we want to accomplish as a church, and we want people to know what we are for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For you.
I find it, you guys are young. We started off before the interview talking about young professionals. And something that I have noticed, I don't know if everyone else would agree, but I feel like there's almost a resurgence maybe in the younger generation of, attending church and, being a part of church and things like that, like almost as maybe a resurgence a little bit. So I was just wondering, like, what kind of, like, your community, the community that you have now, do you have a lot of young people that attend? Obviously you want to reach out to everybody, but is there like a good number of young people that do attend your services?
Yeah, I would say we have a good balance, but we are growing young, right?
Yeah.
So we're growing, but we're growing younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that is because, you know, the younger generation wants to be a part of something that's going to make a difference, right?
Yeah.
I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm 38 years old, but I want to make a difference. And so yes, we have a lot of younger people who are attending our church. We're growing young. You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, but it is a great mix. We have young families, we have young professionals, but we also have someone who, like my mom, she attends and she just turned 65, you know, but she feels like she can still get something from the messages that are, and still serve the community. She was there at the outreach helping out. So it's not just, you know, there's many different, and it's very diverse, you know, cultures from all kinds and all ages, backgrounds, all different stories, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, we just, you know, it doesn't, our common thing is our faith, you know.
Yeah.
Not really.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And I guess that's what's important. I just think the diversity is something that you may not have seen, you know, maybe when I was growing up or 10, 20 years ago, but now something like with, for example, like your church, there is a lot of diversity, there is a lot of openness, and it doesn't look like what somebody might think a typical church would look like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, for one part, we have, you know, the VFW hall, which, you know, we haven't changed anything inside yet. So it's kind of like 1970-ish feel when you walk in our church. But we're super glad to be there. But again, like I was going to say earlier, that it takes a long time for vision to stick, right? I intend to stay with the why we're doing what we're doing. And constantly, again, I think our crowd, our church family wants to be a part of something that's going to make a difference. So what we did was 2 weeks ago, we launched a movement called For Long Island. So we intend to get this before people in Long Island. We want to touch thousands and thousands of members of Long Island and people in our community with the message of #For Long Island. And actually, we gave them a car magnet that a lot of our people took. You might see one around the area. And actually, I brought one with me. I had to bring it.
Fantastic.
It has our church,
awesome,
and then the word For Long Island. So what we're encouraging our church people to do is, hey, put this car magnet on the back of your car, drive through Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or a restaurant, whatever, and pay it backwards, you know, pay for somebody in front of you.
Yeah.
And then we're telling them to pay and pray. Just pray that God will make the connection.
That's
and
right.
that, or you mentioned, you know, this is the middle of a pandemic still, and there's a lot of people who are hurting. If they weren't hurting before, they're certainly hurting now. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of questions. We want people to feel, hey, that God, in the midst of this chaos, God is for you, and our church is for you. So hopefully you'll see those car magnets around Long Island.
That's terrific. Yeah. We'll have to watch for them. So, Pastor Hank, really appreciate Allison, appreciate your time today. Can you tell us when is your service and how are you doing? Are you doing part in person and part virtual or all virtual? And how do people contact you?
Sure. So our service is Sundays at 11 a.m. and you can come in person. We are all social distanced and we are abiding by all the, you know, the CDC guidelines and everything. So if you feel comfortable, you can come in person 11 a.m. on Sundays, or we also on our church website, connectnow.church. You can visit our website and our sermons are broadcast on there as well. Also, we have a YouTube channel. Connect Now LI is our YouTube. So you can find us in different areas, but if you don't feel coming in person, you know, safe coming in person yet, many people still watch online as well.
Terrific. Okay, very good. And if they wanted to reach out to you, best way is to call the church or email you. What would be the best way to reach out to you personally?
We try to push everybody to our website, which is our kind of our central hub for any information you might need, and that's connectnow.church. And it's really easy to get a hold of us on the website. Any questions you have, connectnow.church.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it's such a pleasure talking to you today, and love what you're doing. We're so happy to have you in our community, and I look forward to the Middle Country Chamber, the Miller Business Center, and Connect Church to all be working together very closely real soon. So thanks again. It's a pleasure to have you. And Alex, as always, thank you for hosting with me. And we're going to be saying goodbye to everybody right now, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.